Assalamu alaikum kids. Here is Mrs. Atika Al-Amari, your math teacher. Today I just wanna re-record the yesterday's video. Some of you told me that the sound was not clear. There was a problem with the sound, so I just want to re-record it for those who didn't hear it well. Okay, so it's solving of page 110 in your homework workbook, the lesson which is parts of a region. Okay. Actually, in yesterday's lesson, we've learned some new things about fractions. We learned that the top number in a fraction, which is called the numerator, tells the number of equal parts described. And the bottom number, the denominator, tells how many equal parts there are in all. Okay, so here is an example for this circle. It's divided into 3 parts. So how many total parts do we have? Yes, we have 3 parts in all. So it says that the denominator 3. And how many parts are shaded? How many parts do we need to describe? There are 2 of 3. So the numerator is 2 parts are shaded. So how do we read this? We read it 2/3. Okay. So 2/3 of the circle is shaded. This is how we describe this model. Okay, let's move to the questions now. Here we need to write a fraction for the part of the region that is shaded. So we need to write the fraction. Okay, we have here this rectangle. It is it's split into how many parts? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. And how many parts are shaded? Yes, 2 parts are shaded. So the total number of parts is good 4. So the denominator is 4, and the numerator, which the number of shaded parts, is 2. Okay, how about the circle? Here we have a circle that is divided into 4 equal parts. Yeah, so we have here we have 4 parts. Okay, how many shaded parts do we have? Yes, we have only 1 shaded part. Okay, now we have a square that is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have a total of 8 parts, right? Yeah, and how many parts are shaded? Good, they are 2. So we have 2/8 of this of the parts shaded. Here we have another rectangle which is split into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we have a total of 12 equal parts. We have to make sure that all the parts are equal. Okay, so now how many shaded parts do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This means that half of the parts are shaded, right? Because 6 is the half of 12. Okay, now we need to draw a model for each fraction shown here. We have some fractions here and we need to draw a model for each fraction. Okay, so you can choose any shape to draw and then divide it into the number of parts that is given in the denominator. Okay, I'm going to try to draw a circle. Here is it. Yeah, I'm trying to draw a good circle. Yes, and then I'm going to divide it into first 3 main parts so that I can divide them into 5 parts, each one. Okay, here we have 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 3, yes. 4 and 5. Yes, again, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now how many parts are we going to shade? Yes, we are going to shade 5 parts. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So with your pencil and on your book it will be easier for you because I'm using the mouse for drawing. Okay, now here we have 5/15 of the circle shaded. Now we want to draw a model for this one. We have 7 ninth. Okay, so we have to draw a shape that is divided into 9 equal parts. I can draw an array for this one, like a square which is 3 by 3. Here we have 1 row, 2 rows and 3 rows, and I will draw 1 column, 2, and this is the 3rd column. Now how many parts do I need to shade? Yes, 7 parts are shaded. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is the 7th shaded square here. So here we have 7/9 of the square shaded. Okay, now we have this question. It's a reasoning question. It says, Tara says that half of a salad is always the same amount. Always the same amount. While Len says that it could be different amounts depending on how large the salad is. Who is correct and why? Do you think that a half of a watermelon is equal to a half of an orange? For sure not. So, the half is not always the same. It depends on the whole amounts that we divide. So, who is correct? Yes, Len. Len is correct because half is not always the same size. It depends on the size of the whole amount we divide. Good. Now let's move to the second page. Here, write a fraction for the part of the region below that is shaded. Okay, here we have a triangle that is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. So it is 4, the denominator. And how many shaded parts for the numerator? 1, 2, 3 parts. Okay, if I asked you to write a fraction for the part that is not shaded, how can we describe the part that is not shaded? Good. The part that is not shaded is 1 part of the 4 parts, right? So it's 1/4, while 3/4 of the parts are shaded. Okay, now number 2, we have a square that is split into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, so we have a denominator of 8. Okay, how many parts are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So we have 4 parts shaded of the 8. This means that half of the parts are shaded. Yes. Okay, now we want to draw a model to show each fraction. This is 2/4. It's easy. We can draw just a circle or a square. Okay, I will try to draw a circle again. And then I need to divide it into, yes, good, 4 parts. Yeah, and then I will shade how many parts? Yes, I will shade 2 of them. Okay, so I have these 2 parts shaded. Okay, I have 2 shaded parts and 2 not shaded parts. So half of the circle actually is shaded because 2 is the half of 4. Okay, now how about 10 out of 25? We want 10 parts shaded and 25 parts in whole. Okay, so we need somehow a large box. I will try to make it as large as I can in this space. And then I will divide it horizontally into 25 parts. Okay, let's go on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, good, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Actually the parts should be equal, but because it's hand drawn, so that's why the shape looks like this. Okay, now how many parts do we need to shape? Yes, to shade, yes. 10 parts. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is the 10th. So we have 10 parts shaded out of 25. Okay, now here we need to write the fraction of the pizza that is cheese. Here we have a pizza, and it's divided into 3 actually kinds. One, the white one is cheese, the dark gray is green peppers, and the light gray is mushrooms. Okay, now we want to write a fraction for the cheese pizza. Okay, how many parts do we have in all first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the total number of parts is 8, the denominator. Now how many parts are cheese? 1, 2, 3. Good. So 3 of them, here we have 3. 3 of them are, yes, cheese. So 3/8 of the pizza is cheese. Now what fraction of the pizza is mushroom? Is the total number of parts will change? No, for sure not, because the total number of parts is still the same, which is 8 parts in total. How many parts are mushroom? 1, 2. Good job. So we have here 2/8 of the pizza is mushroom. Okay, here we have another sense question which says is quarter of 12 greater than the quarter of 8? Explain your answer. Imagine that I have 6 pieces of chocolate, and I want to give them let's say that I have 8 pieces of chocolate, and I want to give them to 4 people. 8 to 4 people. It will be 8 divided by 4, so each one of them will take 2, right? So the quarter of 8 is 2 actually. What if I have 12 or 24 pieces of chocolate, and these 24 again I want to give them to 4 people, which means that I want to divide them into 4 parts. Each one of them will take, 6 pieces of chocolate. Yeah, because 24 divided by 4 is 6. So is the quarter of the 24 greater or less than the quarter of the 8? Yes, for sure, the quarter of the 24 is greater. So when I have a greater amount at first, for sure its fraction will be greater than the same fraction of the amount that is less. Yeah, so the quarter of 12 is for sure greater than the quarter of 8. Yes, because when I divide 12 into 4 groups, I will get 3 in each group, while if I divide the 8 into 4 groups, I will get 2 in each group. Okay, now we have 2 more questions. This question says a region has 12 equal squares. which is the number of squares in 1/3 of the region. Okay, so we have a region that is divided into 12 squares. I can use this model because it has 12 squares to explain this question, although these two models are for the last question. Okay, this region has how many squares? Yes, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now I want to take 1/3 of this region. What do I mean by 1/3? This means that we need to divide the total number of the total shape into 3 equal parts. How can we divide this shape into 3 equal parts? Yes, we can divide this by columns, right? We can get 3 equal columns. So here we divided this region into 3 equal parts. Now, how many squares? Which number of squares is 1/3 of the region? This is 1/3, right? And this is another 1/3. And this is another 1/3. How many squares do we have in each 1/3? In 1/3 of the region, good. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4. Is it clear now? Yeah. Okay, I just want to erase this to solve the last question. Okay, now explain why half of region A is not larger than half of region B. Okay, how can we know which half is greater? Yes, by knowing at first what is the total amount of parts and what is the size of the thing that we started with. So does they have the same size, or is one of them greater than the other? We're going to see. Here we have the same size of squares, and now we want to count the number of squares in each region. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here we have actually 12 squares, which are equal to, each one of them is equal to 1 square from this region. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 10, 11, 12. So here we have another 12 another 12 squares, right? So these two regions have the same size. So half of this region will for sure be equal to half of this region, although the shapes are different, but the size will be the same. Half of this region will be 6 squares, right? And half of this region again will be 6 squares. Okay, so yes, because both regions A and B have the same size, the half of region A and the half of region B have the same size, and they are not large. One of them is not larger than the other. So here you are, we're done with this homework. Hope that was clear, and have a nice day. Thank you.